Hello, finally, I'm so happy. Feels like fall is here for us in California, Zone 9. And because I have a friend who responsibly collects and bags up the leaves for me, big thanks to her. And I also collect these grass clippings from my neighbor. Every time they mow the lawn, the gardener helps me with bagging it up into this, potting it up into this pot. So this is the treasure I look forward to when fall starts. I try to collect as many bags as possible, and in the previous videos I showed, I do try to collect and save in these 22-gallon pots or the 25-gallon pots, or anything that's handy and big, maybe 25-gallon grow bags, anything, or black trash bags. Black because it locks in the moisture, and also there is that consistent heat in there. We can talk about it again, but what am I going to do with this material right now? So I'm going to use my fall leaves in this strip. I'm going to save all of that because I'm going to use that for my vegetable waste composting. And this I'm going to top dress in the raised beds where the seedlings have already sprouted. That way it's going to lock the moisture in. Let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. Because the grass clippings are a mixture of the greens and the browns here, I'm not going to do a thick layer and mat it down. I'm just going to do a very thin layer. If the seedlings get covered, that's completely fine too, because as they settle in, as they grow, it'll be fine. So I very gently do that. Basically cover the bed and the seedlings lightly with all the greens. This is just to as the grass decomposes and the leaves also decompose, we are going to have some nutrition added to the soil as well. So I'm going to cover up all of the raised bed using these grass clippings and the very little leaves that I have, and then call this bed done. If I have to sow, all I need to do is just move this and then sew in and cover it back. And as this keeps decomposing, I'll keep adding more material to the raised bed. So there we go, finally. So by mulching with the grass clippings that I had in hand right now, we are going to add some warmth at the newly sprouted seedlings. So I'll go ahead and show how I use the browns. Basically, it's like in the past videos. I'm just going to cover it up with my kitchen waste and then use the browns. So because I have a lot of browns, it comes in very handy for me from now on. So there we go. We have this kitchen waste, cooked and uncooked food, both of it, that I have been collecting for about 2 weeks now. I do use the cardboard boxes too, the little tiny ones, spread it across. Very curious to see how the material is inside. It's been 2 weeks since I touched it. So there we go. We see a lot of black soldier fly larvae, which are great decomposers, and I'm okay to have them. In fact, I love to have them because they decompose the material much faster. So like we see, I have the cooked food and the uncooked food, all the kitchen waste, and now I'm going to dump all the leaves, a good thick layer. I get very excited when I have the fall leaves in hand to use in my composting, because this helps big time. And it's okay if you don't have the leaves, we can use paper towels and some bagged soil or clay, anything that we have handy. But having leaves is something that we can it comes in extremely handy. There we go. And I'm going to repeat the process and cover it up with one more section of leaves again. That's it. Look at it. It's so pretty and colorful. And I'm just going to cover it up with the mesh wire that I had. And on top of that, I have some tiles handy, so I'm just going to keep on top of that to barely cover to protect it from the rainwater too, because now that the leaves are also moist, I don't want the compost to get too soggy and for the leaves to fly off. So I'm going to cover it up barely with any material that you can find, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the rest of the leaves. So there we go, done with covering that up. I just put that mesh wire in there and covered with the tiles, and I'm going to go ahead and empty these bags now. There we go. So I'm going to empty all of those bags into this big bin. I understand that because it does not have holes, I don't want it to get waterlogged again like it happened with the previous compost. Do check out that video on how we can use the soggy compost. So I'm going to go ahead and still layer this bin with the grass clippings that I have, and also the leaves that we have. So I'm just going to layer this. Now that we did the brown, I'll do the green, a bit of the green, and lots of brown, little green again. I'm going to fill this up, and I have to figure out a way to cover this. And why cover that? Because we are expecting rains today or tomorrow morning. I don't want this to get very soggy like before. So maybe I'll just cover it up with a plastic bag or something for now, and eventually I'll figure out something, maybe a plank to cover this bin. There we go, finally. As the bin gets filled up, my heart fills up too. This looks like a lot of material for now, but trust me, it's barely not enough. It decomposes much faster, but I don't think I'll be waiting until it decomposes. I'm going to use this material for my kitchen waste composting, and also to fill up my raised beds, just like top dress my raised beds. Once I'm done with doing all the other raised beds, prepping all the raised beds by removing all the material like we saw in the past videos. Preferably it is good to have if you want it to decompose much faster, it is preferred to have the fall leaves and the grass clippings also in a 25-gallon pot like that with draining holes, just because the good drainage, it's not getting too soggy, and it's preferred that way. But we can collect it in however we want it, like I mentioned, in plastic bags or whatever we can literally use to hold that material. But that definitely made my day to have my first batch of fall leaves and grass clippings. All this, every little bit of this is going to put into great use, and this is truly the treasure to make my garden gold. Thank you so much.